Hello everyone, and welcome to the world-renowned Copox secondary main epic channel. It's been a wild ride out here in the land of trying to get technology to work, but don't you worry. And this time, I'm going to do something a little different. I've been getting better at commentary. I don't know if you can tell. Smash like if you agree, and smash like if you disagree. YouTube has not been claiming most of these videos, which is pretty epic for all of you who are watching free. But for those of you who are epic enough to sign up on Patreon, which there are honestly too many of you signed up to Patreon, if I'm being honest, sign up right now if you want to make me feel epically weird and don't know what to do with myself, because that's where I am right now. I'm going to be releasing the full thing uncensored, as well as without any edits in it. So, last time in Black Butler, some big boy CL came back, and then we found out that the wolves were actually a cult. There were a couple of comments that were very interesting, and there were also like 60-some comments on the last video, which was pretty crazy. So let's just jump in and see if anything gets explained away.
The emergency signal! My lady!
Not the emergency signal. Ooh, here's Butler, furious.
I've devoted my entire life to this. Not creating a magic spell, but a toxic gas. I thought I was protecting the villagers. And really I was designing a weapon whose purpose is to maim and kill. So you all know, and you've been deceiving me this whole time.
For those of you who are not caught up, her entire life was a lie. Anyway, you're caught up.
Please tell me that is a troll! It can't be!
Don't cry, Ziklinda. You've done well.
Ziklinda. That's how you pronounce the name, I guess. You know, it was weird, because when I was looking up how to pronounce her name, I was under the impression that the Germans add a lot of letters that are not pronounced, just kind of like the Italians do, but not in this case.
You were born with a mind capable of greatness, but it needed the optimal research environment in order to realize its full potential. And now it has by producing the ultimate chemical weapon. This is a moment to cheer, not to weep. You girl have changed the course of history. Tragedy took mein Liebling from me, but he has truly returned, reborn in you.
What? Your child died, so I needed you to make a poison gas?
Dry your eyes. You have proved yourself. It's a proud day, beloved.
Just baby, dry your eyes. That's a Van Halen song. You wouldn't get it. What's really sad, though, is I don't remember the rest of it. Dry your eyes. You don't know the tears you cry, 'cause that's what dreams are made of.
It all
Are they gonna go into a musical?
13 years ago.
13 years ago.
A certain military project. Our team of scientists was working with a gas so dangerous and volatile that for 20 years it was considered impossible to mass produce. Our objective was to use this mustard gas, as it is commonly called, to make chemical weapons.
Oh, I've done it.
Fortunately, it wasn't long before one brilliant mind among us created a safe method of
Among Us.
synthesizing it.
To our scientific success.
Prost!
Dankeschön.
I should thank you. It's an honor to work on your team.
She's horny for that old man.
Everything was going so well.
Oh, is that her?
Until disaster struck. An accident at the plant where the gas was manufactured. Once that cost him his life. There's Herr Doktor. Und rendered me utterly unrecognizable.
Geneva Conventions happened for a reason. Actually, a lot of the Geneva Conventions happened because of Canada. Smash like if you're Canadian.
Was one of our nation's greatest treasures.
A true loss for our country.
The project will surely stagnate without him.
His death left us heartbroken. But all was not lost, for his genes took root inside me.
I didn't like the way you said that. I'm gonna send that to my sister, who happens to be Pragananon. I'm gonna see if she wants to just tell people that the genes have rooted deep within me.
It began to grow anew. The child's talent was evident from almost the day she was born. By the age of 3, she was already a fluent reader.
Did they make up the entire thing? That there was never ever a witch? Or werewolves? They were just like, yeah, she's a kid, she'll believe anything. She's a powerful witch who can hone the powers of sorcery and I don't know, she did have like big old heckin' transmutation circles.
She had grasped the process for mustard gas synthesis. Linda, you did this?
Hi, Mommy. I'm a psychopath.
In that moment, I knew mein Liebling. He had returned. His mind had been restored to me. Our prodigy would need to be nurtured very carefully. We required an environment that would encourage immersive study and sustain motivation, morals and common sense. Amusements and frivolous pleasures would also interfere. And so, the village was created.
So the village was created. None of it is period, but that doesn't really matter.
To ensure she would remain in this environment voluntarily, we constructed an irresistible background story, the Emerald Witch. And her duty, to protect the villagers from werewolves. Thus it was that Wolfschlucht, the Wolf's Valley, came into being. Yes, we gave you the tools you needed, the environment you required.
Yes, your entire life was a lie. What you were doing, a lie. Being an Emerald Witch, a lie. We bound your feet so you could never walk again. As part of the lie. And made you not go out into the real world or have a childhood because it would inhibit your ability to make mustard gas, in which you would give to the government, sell to the government, for a lot of money.
Quiet, and a revolutionary new weapon was developed in less than 10 years' time. The project was a success, Sieglinde! You have done your duty!
My lady! Get out of my way!
You too, Wolfen. You were part of it too. You betrayed me!
To make this weapon of yours, you crushed her feet and burdened her with a fictional duty. And you call yourself her mother. Children aren't their parents' tools.
Guns are epic.
Stop there!
Don't shoot! What if you hit a gas canister?
After them! Cut off their exit!
Sebastian, the rest is up to you.
My lord.
Ah, yes, thumbnail material. Werewolves. Guns. Werewolves with guns.
Sebastian, the rest is up to you.
My lord. It will be a pleasure.
This will be so fun.
My lady!
Wolf! What's the matter?
Quick! Sie endlich hab sie Leinherren!
They've taken her?
So every townsperson has been in on this.
First, she knows the truth about everything. They should be nearing the area 823. Now, let's move!
Lieutenant! First, Lieutenant Wolfram Gelser. I trust you have not forgotten. The virtuous Butler has one
I have not
duty
forgotten.
that supersedes all else. And that is to dispose of her should the need arise.
I mean, they are done with her.
Ja!
I think isn't the first Louis voted on? Anyway,
It's gotten a bit noisy, it has.
Shouldn't be long.
that might be second Louis. You know, it's a good day when the Phantom Hive group are just chilling out, waiting for their orders. The Morning Star.
Here we go. That's the signal. My boss is calling troops. Yes, sir!
Let's go! I still don't know who the German is. The German guy from last episode. Me too, buddy.
Beyond this forest, the world is full of those who would take
Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest.
advantage of you.
Hold on. Let me see if I can find the exact frame.
You may yet experience even more hardships than you did today.
Yeah, that was it. That little segment. So when I was going back to watch the CL inner monologue, everything like that, in his weird state, and I pulled up the Japanese version, they were already on episode 8. So I just clicked to a random spot and I saw that. I saw CL with a gun and Sieglinde just on the ground. And I was very confused.
You must choose, mein Freund.
You
I can show
must
you the world outside,
choose.
Peter, if you still wish. Or I can free you from
That's a Walther PPK.
your pain.
Or at least it should be. It's a really short barrel, and there weren't very many handguns at that point. I think it would have been a Walther PPK. Which is also what James Bond used.
Can you? I've spent my life creating a tool of unimaginable horror. Was it
Is she going to say, I am become death, destroyer of worlds?
I once believed to be true?
Sit down, Oppenheimer.
My sons feel like iron's fate
You need to give back the Oscars won by that and give it to this episode specifically.
me down. I just want to disappear.
Fair enough. Shame to waste such a brilliant mind.
There's a lot of different ideas for thumbnails right here.
Shame to waste such a brilliant mind as yours. At least the weeds will get something out of it. And lucky for you, you won't have to endure the screaming of the countless souls that you could have saved.
What do you mean?
No, I get it. I get there's the whole, like, redemption thing. Like, all right, so you did a thing, you didn't know about it, no one blames you, but also, what are you going to do about it? I think that what are you going to do about it is one of CL's, like, main things. Like, what he
That
stands for is, yeah, so what? Now what are you going to do about it? And I think that the animation of, like, what are you going to do? And then her just being like,
you won't have to endure the screaming of the countless souls that you could have saved. That was your goal, yes? To save people, not make an ultimate weapon. Imagine the wonders you could work now that your eyes are open. An ultimate medicine. Something.
I still don't understand how this writing on the ground magic happened. Is it just like mercury and such?
Something so amazing the world would claim it's supernatural.
Supernatural? Like a magic cure?
Supernatural? You mean like Castiel and Dean Winchester? Sam is cool and all, but Dean Winchester is a lot hotter.
Oh, how could I do that? Is it even possible?
Who knows? But it certainly won't be, should I end your pain here. Now, Emerald Witch, I will have an answer.
The cinematography in this episode specifically has been nothing short of amazing.
Escape into death, or live to soldier on?
I'll do it. I'll live. That's my choice. To live.
That's nice.
Fair enough. Shall we take our leave, Miss Sieglinde?
Shall we take our leave, my lady?
That flare gave our position away. We must leave before the werewolves reach us. We'll meet up with my sir.
It's moments like that. I don't know about you, but I heard Brina's voice there just reminded me of how CL is still 13.
Servants at our rendezvous point.
Nearly 14.
They'll use Maya's... No, they'll use mustard gas on him.
It's sweet of you to worry. But Sebastian is an exemplary butler.
He eats mustard gas for breakfast.
You need to leave. It is dangerous here.
Let her get away! Find her!
Yeah, don't do the thing. Just get her.
I'm English. They must have sent the spies the moment they caught wind of our operation.
While flattered, I am no trained spy. Not that I would need to be to handle the lot of you.
I want you to know that I consider myself a straight man in this month that we are in. But that is sexy.
You.
And everything that is about to happen.
Goodness me. It seems that protective garb is vexingly resilient.
Vexingly.
It does explain how one of you managed to survive an attack from our gardener. But with me,
You'll have to try hard.
none of you will be so lucky.
Damn it.
I'm trying to think about physics for a second. So physics, I'm trying to see if the butter knife would really cut or if it would just bend. Because it's very bendy.
Release the mustard gas.
Because that's actual silverware, not stainless. Stainless hasn't even been technically invented yet.
Now we can bring him down easily. Let's just wait. He won't last long without a mask or protective clothing. Push!
Oh, please! I need a mask! Give me a mask!
Mustard gas. Quite the apt name, isn't it? Very literal. I was sure I recognized the aroma from somewhere. It's the condiment, correct?
Bit of a mustard boy. You like mustard? Mustard master? Mustard gas! Can't enjoy a nice succulent mustard gas!
My lord simply refuses to eat the stuff. That's why I was slow to place it.
What's going on? How is he still alive? Is it possible that England has gas-resistant soldiers in their ranks!
A phantom hive butler who can't withstand a little toxic gas? Why, such a specimen wouldn't be worth his salt. Unlike myself. And with that,
Just inhale, just as a flex on top of all of the dead bodies. A big ol' inhale of that. Mustard gas!
Take the sample upstairs now!
Ja!
The formation guide. It's not over. With this we can still...
contradictory creatures. Some of you preach love
Scary.
and similar foolishness, while others find sacrificing their kith and kin completely rational. Oh, you humans.
So, I'm 90... Hello. Hello. Thank you for responding to my computer. So I am 90% sure that Sebastian cannot take another contract while currently within a contract. I think it's one of the few rules. But it still would be really cool to have, like, the finishing move be like, and your soul is mine. But then again, you have to give it up willingly. It wouldn't make sense, but it would be cool.
Fascinating.
The gas alarm is going off, but why? What? Why does it
He just held it deep within his lungs.
smell like mustard?
You are rather enamored of this gas, aren't you? You offered your daughter's life,
That's a lot of gas that was in his lungs.
so you must be. Breathe deeply. My thanks for exposing my young master to it. Is it how you recall?
That is amazing. This is diabolical, and I am enjoying every minute of it.
The scent of your vaporous death. It's been so long since you felt the kiss of your Liebling's work.
It just dropped.
Sebastian, see that any and all information regarding Sullivan's weapon is destroyed. I want no trace of it.
Of course. How shall I enact this destruction?
Up to you.
Oh heavens. Are you sure about that?
I won't be there to impede you, nor will there be any survivors. So unleash yourself, O wicked beast.
Oh, wicked beast.
My lord, my dear young master, I fear you have the wrong impression of me. I find most of my amusement in my game with you in being constrained by the Butler requirement of our pact. Indulging my every impulse would only serve to spoil our sport.
So, you know what is funny? A little bit is the fact that every question I have, just nearly every question that I have brought up, or like little thing, has kind of gotten reiterated. So I will say that's actually pretty good. It seemed like this show had a little bit of a trial, like it had a proof read or whatever you want to call it, and it was like, okay, but what about this, this, to this? And they were like, oh yeah, no, we can, we'll just re-explain it, and then they did it a great way.
However,
Oh my god. Oh my god.
if you prefer I act the beast in this case, I will happily take the stage.
So, you know, the long-winded way of saying But I prefer being restrained. Wink. But if you want me to take center stage, well, that's not going to be very hard for me to do.
After all, I am simply one hell of a butler.
Snake, you better know where you're bloody taking us.
I can smell Smile from here. He's this way. Hurry! Exclaims Gerda.
There, dead ahead!
Boy, young master!
Shouldn't she have the sexy voice because she lifted up her glasses? Immersion broken.
Finally.
You hold up, all right?
Yes. Now then. Here we split. All of you know your assignments. Begin the evacuation.
Yeepers.
Fire in facility! You are not!
Oh, sorry, I didn't think about the fact that there was a voice over a loudspeaker. I was like, oh my goodness, how did they allow that audio quality? By the way, mustard gas was first invented in 1860. And World War I was the first time it was used. It was practically when the war was almost over. World War I was 1914 to 1918, and they first used it in 1917.
Report to your station!
The lifts are damaged. The fire unit can't respond. What about the new gas?
Which means that World War II starts 25 years after this episode, or this series. Actually, the next couple of them, I don't think we even hit 1890 in Black Butler with CL and Sebastian. I could be wrong.
The instructions are likely gone, but the gas may remain. The boy's butler was seen with a sample file. The shrine! We can't let him get beyond the forest.
Hilda, forgive me. I meant Major Dickout.
I meant Major Dick out? What?
The boy's butler was seen with a sample file. The shrine! We can't let him get beyond the forest.
Hilda, forgive me. I meant Major Dickout.
I meant Major Dick out.
We must capture the Emerald Witch. She can reproduce the instructions. Spraying of the gas should be halted until she can be found.
All right, very well.
Major! Commandant Anateva!
Both of those ladies need to be dropping and giving us 20. Look at that, the angle of that wrist. That is horrifying. Actually, when I think about it, there is that little bone that makes it look like it's... But I think it's got to be out exactly 90. This one looks out 90. This one does not. It's a weird angle.
First special unit! Und Commandant Greta Hilbard with the second unit. We are all ready to sort him, ma'am. We traced the star shell to where it was fired, and we finished preparations for the new weapon prototype.
Well done.
The new prototype?
I thought it was like right here. Like right above the eye. But it might be up here. Do you know the reason why saluting was a thing in the first place? It was because during days when you had helmets and crusades and stuff like that, and you had buckets over your head, when there was a friendly person that you wanted to talk to, or you needed to say something, you would lift the guard above your face so you could see someone and talk to them. So, they kept that tradition, and salutes actually used to be this, because you would lift like that. So, salute used to be this, and then it probably changed to that, and then it probably lowered a little bit. Slightly changing, or variation. But now you learn you something.
You mean to use that thing?
I do. Our primary objective is recapturing the Emerald Witch. But if she manages to set foot outside the forest, shoot to kill. Verstanden?
Ja!
Yeah! Jiminy Christmas. The everything in this episode was crazy. This was easily the best episode so far. If there was one thing I wish they could have done, is I would have liked to see Bassie fight longer. I think that the episode, season 1, episode 3, which was when he infiltrated the Italian mobster's place and really dealt with all of his henchmen, I would have liked to see a little bit more of that, some more choreography in that sense, but that's a lot of work, I do get that. And that's just such a small thing. This wrapping up is going to be probably one of the better endings of any Black Butler season. I will say, the build up to it wasn't maybe the greatest. I wonder if maybe, so last season I just compiled everything together to give you one, so you didn't have to like jump from episode to episode. I wonder if I'm just gonna do like just watch through every single one and see how it fits together. I probably won't do that because that's a time commitment, and as you may or may not be able to tell, I don't have a lot of that anymore. But this has certainly been one of the greatest episodes. You've got the characters down, and there's a lead up to some pretty epic stuff. I don't know what there really is to say about it other than it was just great, and I hope that all of you had a great time watching. Be sure to head on over to Patreon, where we're going to be reading a couple of comments, and then the comments to YouTube. Season 2 in Book of Atlantic had the scenes where Sebastian first became the butler. Yeah, I think I'm remembering Book of Atlantic, because that one is more fresh in my memory. I do have to react to that at some point. It's not a blind reaction. The problem is that, like, when I recorded it and then found out that I didn't actually record it, it was like I had already seen it once, but it had been so long it practically was a blind reaction. Now I'm still at a I remember it stage. Those two truly are excited about how beautifully their little plan worked out. Yes, they're just little divas. Sebastian and CL just dropping all the knowledge that they learned. CL just being like, my lady. Yeah, he is just a real mutter trucker, dude. I do love it. I mean, if you insist, yeah, no, if I tell you to smash dislike. But don't smash dislike, smash like this time. I'm not a failure like last time. I've grown as a person. That's called fanfic? I don't know. She was really harping on CL. She was really into getting Prefnart, I think, in the comics. When she's fantasizing over Sebastian, CL says, always stop that, don't turn my butler into a criminal. Comedy. Book of Circus and Onwards takes place in 1889. That's cool and epic. Sebastian could have figured this out. There's no way at all CL figured this out. Even if he did, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, I see that you said that he reads Arthur Conan Doyle, and I think they were saying that he has stuff that is, in this universe, based off of reality, but I'm not entirely sure. It's just that Arthur Conan Doyle is not practical in any way for actually learning. I don't know, it's just like you don't learn how to solve a mystery by reading Arthur Conan Doyle, you know what I mean? I still think that was a weird one, so I think Sebastian did all the heavy lifting still, but that is true. I did forget about that. He does read a whole lot of, like, only him. Fairly certain that the Phantom Fam were given tracking devices so that the village could keep an eye on them since they notoriously didn't like outsiders. Yet, after this episode, it makes sense. They gave them tracking devices so that if they ever happened to find out anything, they could find them and kill them. The only thing is there's only so much you can do. I mean, you gave them a pendant, which is a lot to just grab and run away for. Yes, he is, and I love him for it. What is it? What did I say? He's so sassy again. He's so sassy. True. I definitely think CL waking up scene is worded very interesting, so the confusion is very valid. Also, for the Sebastian, and other demons thing, I remember, if I remember correctly, in Book of Circus, there is also a scene where William warns Sebastian to stay away from his working area because he believes Sebastian will snatch the souls he is there to reap. Sebastian gives him, "I'm not like other demons. I'm not like other demons." Girl? Will, I'm not like other demons. Is it just me or does CL's voice crack at this timestamp at 32:31? Also, I oddly loved the little cackle of 33:42. Yes, it did. And I don't remember if I giggled or not.
It was all just a story made up to deceive you.
Yes, that is funny. If he was, like, having an emotional moment, it would have been fine. It was all... And then the witch's cackle, yeah. CL for president, even though he's from Britain, based. Twin CL being shown in this arc may have possibly been done so that the little plot twist of him being revealed in the next arc doesn't feel like it came out of nowhere and we have a proper build-up to it and have prior context to point to. Well, yeah, absolutely. You can't just really drop that. You need to have nuggets here and there. I think that... I just don't think it worked in this one. Not the way that it was portrayed, anyway. I think that I probably would have sprinkled it a bit in maybe the first or second arc. Well, not the first or second arc. I don't know. I think all of Season 2 isn't canon. I think a little bit in Book of Circus would have been fine, then you forget about it for a while. Then you bring it back here. I think where it got placed, I think I would have just like a little nodded to it. It's just that part where he's talking to himself, where the more arrogant version of him, maniacal, deceiving version of him, versus the child version of him, I think that needed to be clearly CL talking to CL, not older twin versus younger twin. I think that would have been a better narrative. And then probably had a break arc. I think that actually would be really good, as if we got basically an OVA in between that did some background stories that weren't deep. They were very surface level. That if you just watch it, it's just like, oh, that's kind of nice, you know, a day in the life of Bard. It says like, ha ha ha. And a day in the life of Mayrain, like, oh, she broke something, ah ha ha. But then like there's little nuggets in there that like really tell you the truth that like you kind of have to be looking for. And then you get like the twin stuff, and then like, it's not like it drops the bombshell, it's just like a day in the life of CL, but then you learn more about where he came from and all that. I think that might be a fun way to just kind of like have a break from the like tense drama, and yeah, that's my take on what probably should happen in terms of pacing. Season 1, Episode 1 isn't canon. People usually include it in the canon watch list because it's an introductory episode, but the bargaining scene you mentioned never happened in the manga. It was very different. So I did watch the introductory arc to Black Butler explained by Pocket Leaves, and I have the reaction on this channel. I thought it was in there. Weird. Now, we already see too little of CL's brother. Early characterization is needed. I agree. I just think that CL's brother needs to be pushed down the line a little bit more. I think that needs to be like, that's such a big revelation, you know what I mean? I think that needs to get pushed down the line a little bit, and because you can't go back and add more of the fact that maybe CL wasn't an only child. Sieglinde is named after the Wagner opera, pronounced Sieglinde. Thank you, I appreciate it. 450, I know, right?
Where's the part in her head where she's married to CL?
Exactly, thank you. Thank you for agreeing with me. I'd argue that, to a degree, CL doesn't fear Sebastian. Sebastian is truly one of the only people that CL allows to touch him with little to no protest, because Sebastian isn't human, and all of CL's trauma was inflicted by humans, and he's lost his faith in humanity. I think that's a very interesting take. I don't know if I necessarily agree, but I really like that. I think that it's a fun theory that doesn't really have any massive bearing on reality, or not reality. It doesn't have any deep implications. Like, it can be, and it could be, it could not be, and it wouldn't really matter. But I think that that's a very interesting theory, and I like it, and you should run with it. Absolutely. 11:47.
Where are you, Bessie?
Yeah, that's just me staring out my window, wishing Sebastian would just appear. He still hasn't. It's been a week. Can't get my letter from Hogwarts, and I can't get a sexy demon to appear in my window. Am I Oh yeah, then I was asking about the German individual who shows up in the beginning of last episode. Was I talking about Edward? No, I wasn't talking about Edward. I was thinking about his father, Alexis. But he's actually, as you pointed out, very British. I just don't know who it is. Now that I mention what?
Hey, this reminds me of the Black Butler live action movie where he fought a werewolf dude, and they were in like a weird factory place. Sebastian had to fight him, and then
yeah, that was one of the movies of all time. True. I know, it's crazy. I thought that throughout this whole actually every time that I watch a season of Black Butler, I look to see if maybe the movie was just ahead of its time. And every single time, it's just not. It wasn't. It will all make soon. Also, season 3 is probably the best as an adaptation, as an adventure. Yeah, I gotta rewatch that for sure. Are aristocrats not politicians? No, that's valid. I refuse to respond, but that's valid. There's a theory explanation with the advance in technology, not from their era, from the next arc, but no spoilers. That is interesting though. Scooby-Doo plot based. As much as I absolutely love the English dub, so much that I prefer watching it more than the Japanese. Sometimes it has a bit of an annoying habit of unnecessarily changing some of the dialogue to be different. The ones that aren't as good as the original. For instance, unlike what CL said at certain point. Oh yeah, and then that was brought up before. Are you trying to turn my butler into a criminal? And then what Siglinda said is completely different, but you choose not to elaborate.
Wanted to thank me intimately, and so you risked your lives and climbed my tower.
Yes, very weird stuff that she says that we won't talk about. Yeah, like, I understand that there is, lip flaps need to match up. That is the second most important thing. Like, the most important thing is obviously translating faithfully, and then the second one is taking the literal translation and then, changing the words, but keeping the context to match the lip flaps. The thing is that matching lip flaps isn't as hard to do as people make it out to be. So if you remember, like, early abridged series, let's go with Sword Art Online abridged. And so we've got episode 1 here. I can quote this entire thing, this entire episode by heart.
Wow, congrats. You're defeated by a pig.
Look here, man, that was like a pig from hell. My God. I've stumbled upon the most powerful weapon in the game. The mithril pebble of pig smiting. Please stop. Oh, for you see, long ago, this pebble was forged in the fiery pits of Tartarus by the grand blacksmith of Lucifer himself, a time before the world. And thus, Marjosa, guardian of the pebble, fell to his knees and passed from this world, leaving behind the mighty weapon, for he knew that one day its power would be required once more. Are you done? Yes. But the legacy of the pebble lives on.
I have a feeling you...
So, anyway, you see how they're making everything do this? That's not in anime, right? Let's just go right back to Black Butler. Let's jump to a spot where people are talking. This is actually really hard to find.
They should be nearing the area 823. Now, let's move.
It's kinda there. There's a whole lot less lip flaps. My whole point was that you can get away with a lot. You can put a lot of words in there just as long as it starts and ends at the right time. You used to have to do scratch takes, and that's what Japan still does because they have to actually animate it. And basically they have scratch artists come in and give the dialogue so the animators can kind of just do a couple of syllables, lip flaps. But for English, or for any dubbing industry, they've gotten good enough to kind of know what will work no matter what anyway. And when you do a simuldub like this, you only have so much time, so getting scratch artists in, which isn't really a scratch artist, really the writers just come in and they just talk over it and they go, does that work? That's actually that takes a lot of time. So they just get someone who can translate. They might even use AI to translate a lot of it and then have a professional come in and fix what the AI did. That's probably what they do now. I'm getting off on tangents. I do that a lot. I don't know if you could tell. The whole point of this being, back to the original question, them having a habit of changing dialogue. Yeah, they don't really need to. Like, they have to match lip flaps. They don't have to do that. There are some certain censor issues. I don't know if there's any, like, rules that they have to abide by, but I doubt that's an issue. Anyway, Season 1 is non-canon, much like Season 2. It got... What do you mean it got rebooted? I mean, retconned? If they're gonna do a reboot, that would be pretty epic. And then, Benedict, I really appreciate doing, like, the translation. It's very cool. Of that really... That's one of the greatest tracks of all of anime history. So I appreciate that. That's very cool. Very, 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 very epic. Alright, so that's the whole thing. If you want to see this uncensored and uncensored in multiple ways, no colored bars and no cutting around any sort of copyright issues, go check out Patreon, which most of you are doing anyway. You're checking out Patreon. I appreciate you so much for doing that. And if not, and you're happy with this, thank you so much for sticking around, and I'm going to see you all in the next episode.